Welcome, everyone. I am Southern Belle 74, and this is my weekly live stream that I do, and it's entitled Unsolved, Missing in a Broken Justice System. It's where I investigate these stories, and we're going to start off first with our broken justice system. These cases cover children who have been either abused or, in worst case scenarios, they end up perishing through uh, loved ones, foster care, etc. So let's get into our first story.
Abusive, neglectful, disgraceful, those are just a few of the words investigators are using tonight after arresting these parents for what they discovered inside their home. They say the children were forced to live in a trailer. The parents were living inside the mobile home. This is all northeast of Weatherford, and new at 10 o'clock. Aaron Jones is reporting for us from Parker County.
It was one of the nastiest, filthiest places that I have ever been.
But the Parker County Sheriff says it's what was happening inside this Weatherford home that's truly disturbing.
It was just an awful situation.
Last month, 4 children were removed from this home and put in foster care. One child told authorities their stepfather, 20-year-old Colton Lackey, was sexually abusive and involved with child pornography. Their mother, 34-year-old Amanda Fuller, knew about the abuse but didn't act on it. Both parents are now in jail. Lackey for indecency with a child by sexual contact. Fuller for possession of a controlled substance.
Yesterday we executed a search warrant.
These photos document the conditions the children were living in. Authorities say drugs, including meth and cocaine, were found.
There were 5 animals on chains, some of them in the house.
You go in there thinking, what person in their right mind would live in these conditions, much less expose children and animals to these conditions?
I'm glad the kids aren't there anymore. So.
John Coonrad lives down the street and says sometimes he'd see the children's parents outside.
Usually somebody's sitting out in this van with a light tinkering, doing something. I get that people get lost and they do drugs and have a good time or whatever, but to let it affect your family, to let it affect your kids, that's just, I guess that's what drugs do.
And the children range in age from 6 to 15. We did reach out to DFPS to see what prior involvement, if any, they had with this family. We're still waiting to hear back. Reporting live in Weatherford, Aaron Jones, CBS 11 News.
Aaron, thank you for getting us underway in the update from Weatherford tonight.
Okay, guys, we're going to move into our next story. And this one comes out of Jacksonville, Florida. A Jacksonville woman was arrested after 2 of her children were found in a Westside home where one child was covered in feces. This all came from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Let's get into it.
Also developing at 10 o'clock, the mother of 2 arrested after her neighbors make what they call a shocking discovery. Investigators are saying that her 2 children were found home alone, and neighbors say the 10-year-old and the 2-year-old both have autism. The toddler was found covered in filth.
31-year-old Heather Young is now facing child neglect charges. And News 4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier spoke with neighbors who found the children and called police.
Yeah, he's joining us live with what they're telling him about this disturbing discovery. Eric?
Yes, a neighbor who asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation says she and another neighbor entered the home right behind me across the street, and when they realized that children were left unattended. She says that they called police once they found out the condition the children were in. 31-year-old Heather Young currently sits in a Duval County jail cell charged with child neglect after 2 neighbors called police to her home. The woman I spoke with says Young has 2 children with autism, a 10-year-old girl and a 2-year-old boy. She and another neighbor noticed the door was unlocked, so they went in and found Young's son not wearing a diaper. They say he was covered in feces as he sat in a high chair that was also covered in feces.
It was just a terrible, sad sight. The whole house, the child stunk so bad.
That had to have been heartbreaking for you.
Absolutely, because I'm a mother myself. No child deserves that.
The neighbor took the children back to her house and washed the boy down before calling police. Once officers arrived and saw the conditions inside the home, they contacted DCF and a child protection investigator who took custody of both children. 5 hours after the discovery, police made contact with the children's mother and arrested her. News4Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says Heather Young could possibly face more charges.
This investigation is going to open up Pandora's box to see exactly what's going on, because that one little item or issue with the feces on the child is just one issue, and I'm certain there's a plethora of issues that's going on in there with that family as well as the children.
The neighbor who called police says this isn't the first time Young has left children unattended. She also says this wasn't the first time she's had to help Young's 2-year-old.
Several occasions I've been over there and the child just smells of urine so bad that I've actually had to give him baths several times.
Now, that neighbor I spoke with confirms that the children are now staying with a grandparent. Reporting live on the Westside, Eric Avignon, Channel 4, the local station.
Eric, what about the children's father? Where was he during all this? Has he been able to say anything about this investigation?
Well, according to police, the father was out of town working when all this happened. They say that he has been in contact with them and that he is cooperating with the investigation. Neighbors also tell me that he is always out of town working in the construction business. In fact, I'm going to step out of the way here. If we zoom in a little bit, the father is actually back there at the house. That is his work truck, and there are some lights that are on there. So the father is back at the house that we know. And again, according to police, he is cooperating with that investigation. Kent?
Eric Avignon reporting live from the Westside tonight. Thank you.
Okay, guys, let's get into our next story. I'm going to give you a little background about it. This came out of Lakeway. The police have released a 911 audio recording of a little boy who was in a car with his mom, and he was locked in the car, and it was over 104 degrees outside. And the mother was drunk. So listen to this 911 tape and tell me if your heart does just not go out for that little boy.
We're hearing the urgent 911 call a 10-year-old boy made while he was locked inside a hot car in Lakeway.
The boy told a dispatcher that his mother was right there in the front seat, but she was drunk. KVU's Patrick Perez explains why police needed to get him out quickly. Patrick?
Mike and Quita, it was 104 degrees outside on July 21st. That's the day dispatchers received the call from the boy. He told them he had been stuck in that locked car with no AC and the windows up for about an hour. Lakeway police believed that the inside of the car was even hotter when they arrived.
911, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
My mom is really drunk, and I'm sitting in the car and it's super hot.
A desperate plea from a 10-year-old boy. His mother, 34-year-old Adrienne Moss, sitting in the front seat of her locked car.
And where are you?
I'm in the car in the back seat and she won't turn the ignition on.
With no AC and the windows all the way up.
Can you roll down a window?
Nope. Yeah? Oh, no. The windows are locked.
The dispatcher tries to get the boy to convince his mother he needs some cooler air.
Can you ask her nicely if she could please roll down the window because it's hot?
Can you roll down the window?
You want to talk to her?
She said no.
For several minutes, the dispatcher tries to pinpoint the boy's location, but time is ticking.
How long have you been there, you think?
Like an hour.
According to this arrest affidavit, a Lakeway police officer says it was 104 degrees outside, and he suspects the inside of the car was hotter than 123 degrees.
Do you see a policeman?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys talk to him. You did a good job, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good job, bud.
An officer says he smelled alcohol on Moss, and at one point he heard her tell her son, "Get out of my life." Lakeway police arrested and charged Moss with abandoning or endangering a child. Patrick Perez, KVU News.
Thanks, Patrick.
Wow, that's truly, truly sad and just depressing. It's like some people just do not deserve to be parents. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. That's my own personal opinion. If you don't feel like you're capable of taking care of a child, there are plenty of services that are in place where you can take that child, where they can get the love from a family that will just take care of them. And there's no shame in that. Okay, we're going to move on to the last story of the evening. And this is a missing case story. Let me pull up my details. This comes out of Missouri. A teenager by the name of Michaela Jones was found dead. It's truly, truly sad. Let's roll the footage.
the latest on the search for missing college student Molly Tibbetts. This morning, the eyewitness who says he saw her jogging before she disappeared is now telling his story exclusively to ABC. Whit Johnson is here with more. Good morning, Whit.
Michael, good morning to you. Authorities have been tight-lipped, revealing very little about who they've questioned. But we spoke to a man who believes he saw Molly Tibbetts on the night she vanished, with her hair in a ponytail and wearing an armband for her cell phone or music, an account he says he took straight to investigators.
I've seen her, it would probably be 3-4 times a week. She'd jog down the street.
For the first time, we are hearing from the man who believes he could be the last person to have seen Molly Tibbetts before her mysterious disappearance. In an exclusive interview with ABC News, Devin Riley says the University of Iowa student went jogging past his house about 8 p.m. July 18th.
She'd jog down the street, up the hill, and there was just nothing of it until I heard somebody was missing, and then it really hit me, and it's like I haven't seen that runner since then.
He called the police with the tip after seeing her picture on the news. Law enforcement would not confirm or comment about any potential witnesses. But Riley says he was questioned by investigators, who he says also conducted a thorough search of his home.
They were really polite and didn't assume, I don't think, and they just did their walk through and out in less than 10-15 minutes. So.
The 3-week search for the 20-year-old growing more desperate. Authorities sifting through towering cornfields and nearby farms. Still no sign of Molly. A reward now topping $300,000 for information leading to her safe return. This video is believed to show Tibbetts the day before she went missing, showing off her magnetic personality, loved ones describe, and beaming smile. All painfully missed in the small town of Brooklyn, Iowa, where everyone knows each other.
It's gut-wrenching to know that, I could have my daughter out here and I go inside for a minute and she could be gone. You just do not expect it from a town like this.
And Riley says he originally reached out to investigators on Facebook and that a number of his co-workers have also been questioned. Law enforcement sources tell us that they've conducted more than 200 interviews so far in this case. Still no sign of Molly.
We have to keep in mind, this is one of just many missing people out there.
Absolutely. The thing, though, with this community, it's devastated the community so much because it's so small and tight-knit, and people coming together trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Really bonding together over this.
Definitely.
Right.
Thank you, Wim.
Hi, everyone.
Now, that exclusive interview with the mother of Molly Tibbetts, the Iowa college student who was killed last year after she went for a jog. Today, Molly's 21st birthday. Her mother is sharing her story with Paula Ferris, who has that with us. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, Robin. A tough interview for any parent to do. She says there are good days, there are bad days, but on this day, May 8th, what would have been Molly's 21st birthday, she wants to celebrate her life and start a movement, Molly's movement.
It was indescribable, and it took a higher power to get me through it.
Laura Calderwood speaking out for the first time on camera since the body of her daughter Molly Tibbetts was discovered last summer alongside a rural cornfield. She was killed while jogging in Brooklyn, Iowa.
I don't want to feel anger, so I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it at all. I mean, people have asked me, will you ever forgive him? And I said I've gone nowhere near that.
It was the missing persons case that captivated the nation.
This morning, the FBI and law enforcement across Iowa joining the intense search to track down 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts.
After a month-long search, authorities made the grim discovery, led there by her alleged killer, Christian Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, did you kill Molly Tibbetts?
Shortly after the arrest, Rivera was identified as an undocumented immigrant, sparking a nationwide debate on immigration and the president's proposed border wall.
A person came in from Mexico illegally and killed her. We need the wall.
But Tibbetts' father, Rob, immediately responded, writing an editorial, "At her eulogy, I said Molly was nobody's victim, nor is she a pawn in others' debate. On behalf of my family and Molly's memory, I'm imploring you to stop." And now Molly's mother, Laura Calderwood, who has remained largely silent since her daughter was killed, has made what some call a powerful decision, offering a home to an undocumented immigrant and acquaintance of her daughter's alleged killer. It was all at her son Scott's urging.
Well, Ulysses' parents were leaving town, and he is a senior, and it was very important for him and for his parents to have him finish his senior year. And so Scott simply asked me on a Sunday night, can we adopt Ulysses? And I said, no, we can't adopt him, but if he needs a place to live, he's got one. And so he moved in the following Sunday. I knew I did the right thing, and I saw it from the day he moved in, and I see it every day.
Ulysses, or Yuli as she calls him, now lives in the same home that Molly once did.
I just hope that we've set a good example, and with all the kindness that was giving to my family and to the community, keep that in mind and pay that forward.
And now, on what would be Molly's 21st birthday, she's rallying the community in honor of her daughter's memory, raising funds for the local opera house.
Molly was very dedicated to theater art. She was in plays from the time we moved. We are asking people to donate $21 in honor of Molly, and that it will start a people thinking about paying kindness forward.
And they're also encouraging people to perform 21 acts of kindness in Molly's memory today. This theater, the Brooklyn Opera House, it was very special to the family. They had volunteered there, and they're just hoping that it can be fully restored, allowing Molly's spirit to continue and touch others. But the mom says, I hope we're setting a good example.
Oh my
They
goodness,
are.
they are.
They really are.
Strong parents.
Wow. Thank you for bringing that to us, Paula.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
Okay, guys, and that's going to close us out tonight. And please forgive me. I gave the wrong young lady's number. I gave her name incorrectly. I said it was Michaela. It's another story that I'm working on for next week's case. The young lady in this piece I just did, her name was Molly Tibbetts. So please forgive me. Michaela is another person that I'm working on another story with. So that was a mix-up on my part. Okay, guys, I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. I know it's a holiday weekend, so I'm hoping that you're enjoying yourself with friends and family. And we're going to close out for this evening. Let me know what you think about my channel. I'm trying to branch out and try some different stuff. I've been doing a wedding series, and it's been pretty popular. So if there are couples, celebrity couples that you'd like for me to see, just leave something down there in the comment section and let me know. And of course, on Saturday nights, Fridays and Saturday nights, I normally do my When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. So if you guys have topics that you want to hear about, I'm always open to suggestions. So please feel free to just leave something down there in the comment section and let me know. Okay, guys, y'all have a great rest of your night. I'm going to do my affirmation. I really and truly believe it's important that we have self-love, and it starts with us. And my affirmation says, I am gifted. I am talented. I am beautiful. And for the guys, you say, I am handsome. And then in the end, say, I am enough, because we are enough. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your night and very, very prosperous rest of your week. And I'll tune back in next weekend. Be blessed.